Everybody, welcome to Real Talk with Famous DJ Agency. Today we have Quetzal.
What's up,
We have
guys?
Quetzal in the building, that's
What's up,
right.
guys?
And we're going to go ahead and rearrange our seats a little bit just so we can be a little bit more centered.
What do you want me to?
Yeah, just a little bit more this way. Right there. There you go. Perfect. Cool. Sorry about that. So it looks good. So it's good on YouTube. There you go. Bro, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Yes,
yeah?
sir.
Yeah? Ready for some drinks?
Yes, sir. Excited
This-
to be here.
Is water. It's water right here. Nothing but
H2O.
water. Cheers, man. Dude, so I met you as a soccer player.
Yeah.
Met you as a soccer player. You
Yeah.
started your DJ path when you were just a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
Is that bad to say? Just a soccer player? Is that, is
Yeah,
that
I was playing, and then I wanted to get into DJing, and then through Frankie J, I met him, and then he sent me over to you guys. That's when, that's
Yeah,
how it all
bro.
started.
yeah, you joined the academy
Mm-hmm.
to learn a little bit about it. But it's funny because you already had all the knowledge. I feel like you already knew music. Like, I don't think I taught you much. I mean, I know I maybe gave you some tips here and there, but you had it down.
Yeah, I come from a musical family, so
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
my dad, and then I play the drums. I was in a band, so
I always say that drummers have it. The transition from being a musician to a DJ comes easiest when it's a drummer
because of timing.
because of timing.
Yeah.
Drummers kind of in a band, they're the ones that lead the timing, right? They're the
Mhm.
ones that
Yeah.
kind
You're like the metronome.
yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you speed up, you'll hear like the guitar player. Everyone else to speed up. You slow down.
Everyone follows the drummer.
Yeah.
The drummer leads.
Mhm.
So talk to me how they go from wanting to be in a band, being a drummer, to soccer, to DJing.
So I was in a band. Me and the guitar player bumped heads a lot. So I ended up leaving the band. And then I went to go pursue my soccer, play professional, did all that. And then I was like, how can I still do music without dealing with like other people, like being in a group and other egos? So I was like, that's when I got into production. And that's when I got into EDM, house music.
For sure.
Yeah.
EDM house music. So was that like love of house music already existing, or is something that you discovered throughout that journey?
Throughout. So I listened to a bunch of EDM, and then what really got to me is I love like that Latin feel, like like with all the percussion. So that Latin tech house is what.
Latin tech house.
Yeah.
Latin tech
what
house.
got
Okay.
me.
For sure, man. So and you talked about producing. Is that the music you produce? Is that kind of what the what you got into as you started producing?
Yeah. So actually, I started. I have with one of my good friends, Novakin. We have my first song, and I did it with him. It's like this. I wouldn't say Latin, but it's like tech house, but it's like underground tech house. And then I started experimenting more. I got into more like bongos, percussions, and that's when that Latin feel came in.
For sure. And you also mentioned to me way back then that your dad was into music. So you learned a lot through him. Like when you learned the drums, is that something you learned because you have a musical family, or is that something that like is separate from your family and you kind of went into it on your own?
I feel like it's just a musical It's a funny story because when I was first out of high school, I was working at McDonald's. I had this coworker, and he was like, "Oh, he's a guitar player." I never touched the drums. Maybe once or twice when I was little, because we always had drum sets. But like I never really played the drums. And then I was like, "Yeah, I play the drums. Let's make a band." And then like I told my dad, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in a band. I'm a drummer." He was like, oh, "Okay." And then our first rehearsal, he hears me playing the drums. He was like, "Yo, who's playing the drums?" He opens and he sees me because he didn't know that I play the drums. But to be honest, I was just hitting things that sound good, and I guess.
Wait! I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
So you had the ear for it.
Yeah.
You were born with a talent. You were born with a talent. Okay. Did you take classes
No.
afterwards?
Nothing. To be honest, like I was with that band. We have a whole album that's not out because of the whole me and the guitar player, but we had a whole like 12 songs, and the whole time I'm just like he would play something and I'm just
You're just going.
I'm just I'm just hitting things
That you thought sounded good, and they turned out to be good. Like, dude, that's crazy. Can you do that with other instruments?
I dabble on the piano. Freshman year I took a piano class, so I know like I used to know how to read notes, but I probably lost it now. But I know like scales. I know like the whole piano.
Yeah.
But guitar, never play the guitar, nothing. But.
And you know how to play the guitar?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, never.
But, like, I think the keys and everything is pretty much similar to, like, if I was in Ableton and, like, I had a guitar, like
you know what to do?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Fair enough. Now, as you were growing up when you were a little kid, were you surrounded by your dad playing music, your family? Like, were you just involved with music as you were growing up?
So, growing up, before I was born, my dad was he was a singer and he was actually a keyboardist.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we met my mom. My mom was a professional dancer.
Okay.
So my dad's from Wisconsin, and then he was in this band called, I forgot the name of it, but they ended up playing over here, and he met my mom. So I think he stayed here.
Yeah.
But then he got into producing, so he was like, so I seen a bunch of like rappers and like heavy metal people. I think Cypress Hill once been to a studio.
Real?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
when I was very little. So
yeah.
I think he did with Blink 182. He did on one of their CDs. He did like the interlude. He was like, he did the guitar and like vocals on one of their. I think it was their first album. It was like, I don't know if their first, but it was like a CD and it was like white and it was like the happy face blue kind of.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but.
So you did have music your whole life. Mm-hmm. You were surrounded by it. Do you think that attributed to you being able to pick up the drums and just go, or do you think it was just something internal, like you just had it in you?
I think like, dude, like the placebo effect, you know. So like I'm around it, so like somehow like.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of both for sure, man. That's cool. Okay, so that was your childhood. That's how you grew up. You started this band, and then you got into soccer. So why? That's another one of your passions, right? Soccer was a passion for you. Why not stay in soccer? What? Why not go full throttle with soccer?
So I was playing soccer my whole life, and then I signed a 3-year contract, and then after my 3rd year, I was like, you know, like I love DJing. Like I did 1 or 2 shows DJing, and like I just fell in love with like. I just fell in love with like DJing and the whole scene, so I was like, so I didn't go back, and let me try to grind and do this DJ thing.
And do the DJ thing, yeah, for sure, man. No, that's super cool. Okay, so in your DJing, can you talk a little bit about your first experience with your first gig? Like, what did that feel like?
Nervous, but
what was your first gig?
Ooh, let me think.
It wasn't Citadel, right? Was it Citadel?
No.
Okay.
No, what was it?
Because I know I asked you.
It was with you guys though. I don't know if it was Citadel. It was probably something before Citadel. No, it was that live stream. We had that live stream.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Bro, for sure.
I think it was that live stream.
And then
it was.
You did the Space Monkey.
Yeah, I did one with what's his name? He was a headliner.
There was Ray Burger.
Yes, yeah, Ray Burger.
Dude, you were on the second room.
No, I was in
the main room.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's badass. Heck yeah.
I did a back-to-back with DJ Lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what was that like? So the first gig, let's count that as your first gig, because I was in front of an audience, and I want to say it was more directed into that
more intimate
concert performance, like more intimate, but it was more in the artist realm. Mm-hmm. What'd that feel like?
It was fun. I liked it. Nervous at first, but once you play your first song, it's like it just goes away.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This is a really good question. I know you use USBs, right?
Hmm.
And you're a big fan of Record Box. Have you used Serato in the past?
Um, so my first little when I first started, I had like a little like what?
Controller,
Yeah, I forgot the SB something.
the Pioneer one.
Yeah, the Pioneer, but it was
Okay.
a Serato one. So I had
Oh,
Serato. Then I was like, then I heard that when you go like DJ, like you have to plug in like USB, like.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then I got into record box. So then I got the record box little thing.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of Serato. I really like Serato, but I think for EDM, you gotta do
Mhm.
Record Box. Like if you're into EDM, like I mean, unless you're DJ Snake, where you just request what you want.
Mhm.
But if you're into EDM, you have to use USBs. But does that make it hard knowing, like, for example, when you're on the playlist? I feel that with Record Box, you kind of have to have your playlist set up. Like, I'm going to play this song and then this song and then this song. Does it make it hard to go open format when you're on USB?
No, well, with my when I do it, I have all my songs in one, and then also I have like playlists. So if I'm playing at Mescal, I'll be playing on Friday. I have a Mescal 444.
Oh, okay.
Then I have all my other songs. If I'm playing and I'm like, I think
Something
this
goes
song,
better.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
if this song, if people are liking this song, I just go into my playlist and then I'll pull up. I could pull up that song and then play it.
And play it. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
for
so-
sure. What about is that mostly an EDM thing, or do you feel that also fits with like if you need to like play hip hop or go into different genres that are not a specific BPM?
To be honest, I wouldn't. I've never really done that open format. I've only ever DJed like EDM.
EDM.
Yeah.
You're just a house.
Yeah.
You're a house cat. Okay, for sure. No, no, and I appreciate that. Like I think I feel like that's when people get into DJing and they know what they like. I think it gives you more a better perspective on your brand and what you want to do. So talk to me about talk to me about your production. Like what do you do with your production?
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mu-
You're producing music.
music
Yeah.
production. Yeah. So I have a track that's gonna be unreleased right now, but I have some big things with it. But and then I have some. I just dropped an edit of Ambanjo. I think that's how you say his name, Uno.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I just dropped it like 2 weeks ago, so it's doing good on SoundCloud right now.
For sure.
And I have some other stuff coming up.
Dope, man. You said big things. Is it something we're gonna hear soon?
Still in the works, but hopefully.
Yeah?
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh man, I'm so excited for you, bro.
Well, actually, you will hear because it will be the first song that I.
Oh, you're
play
gonna
right
play
now.
it tonight?
Yeah.
Release here first?
It's unreleased, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
we were gonna have access to it here first. Like,
I'll hear it first. Yeah, yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
that's right. Let's go, bro.
I've
I'm
never
excited
actually.
for it.
I played it live once, but it was a different version, so it'll be the first time I play it. This version
Okay.
here.
Dope, man. Dope. And what genre is it? What
Like tech house, like that Latin.
Okay,
Yeah, Spanish.
for sure. Let me ask you about your name. How'd you come up with your name, Quetzal?
That's my name. That's the first part of my first name.
Okay.
My whole name is Quetzal, but so I just got the first part of my first name and
Have you asked your parents why they named you that?
yes. So my mom said she was doing this Aztec dance, and she saw those names.
That's
So I have 4 brothers. 3 of us have those Aztec names, and my oldest brother, his name is Sam. So
okay, for sure. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
the inspiration came from somewhere, but that's cool. So she was doing this Aztec dance, saw the name, and
Mhm.
chose that was the inspiration that came for your name.
Mhm.
And he's one of the Aztec gods,
yeah, a feathered serpent.
the feathered serpent. Yeah, has that inspired you as in your life? Do you feel like a calling or anything special that comes with your name? You feel like you got to do something with it?
Yeah, I really feel unique, especially when I was going through school.
Yeah.
'Cause, like everyone has, and then like every time there's a substitute and like they would try to pronounce my name. I'm like, yep, that's me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they'll be stuttering. I'm like, yep, that's me.
Like that, like that one reel that keeps coming up on TikTok, like the Balake, no subs. You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I've never seen.
No, Keel and Peel.
I've seen them, but I don't think I've.
Oh,
seen
he's
that.
a substitute teacher, and he's trying to say Blake, but he says Balake. Never seen that?
No, I've never
Oh
seen
man.
that, yeah. I need to see that.
Did you ever you know, as you were growing up with that name, did what would people say about it? Like, what would your peers say about it? Like, when you had to introduce yourself, like, was it a thing every time you introduced yourself?
Yeah, or I'll just say Q, and they'll be, oh, what's Q short for? And then I'll say, oh, Quetzal.
Okay.
Like that.
For sure.
But like my close friends, they call me Q. Or like when I was playing soccer, they all call me. Especially on the field, like they're just gonna like super quick, like cute. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Believe it or not, bro, and I'm not lying about this. I promise you. For the longest time, when I before I had my first son, I only have one kid. Like, I'm talking like if I have a bunch of kids, but I only have one kid. Before I had my kid, I always thought if I had a boy, I wanted to name him Quetzal. Like, that was, like, for real. Like,
you're
that was
lying.
a thing because, you know, it's an Aztec god. Like, dude, what more can you do? Like,
Yeah.
you know, to, like, give respect to your son, especially being from Mexico. And that I got that from Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Like, I was like, oh, like, that guy's named Cuauhtemoc. You know, like, I'm going to name my kid Quetzalcoatl. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I didn't end up doing it because I wanted to honor my dad. My dad's name is Francisco. My name is Francisco, so I was like, oh, my son's going to be
So is that Francisco
the third.
the third? Yeah.
The third, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right? It's the third? Yeah.
Junior and then the third, right?
Right?
That
Yeah.
would be- I wouldn't know.
I think that's how it goes. What are your big plans, man? What are your, you know, plan on being on EDC? You plan on going on Ultra? Like, what's your, you know, 10 years down the line? What's your vision?
My vision is playing festivals, traveling, playing, but mostly like just playing music or producing music that people love and dance to. That's
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you have a show that you
This-
do on a monthly basis, right?
So we started like probably two times a month, but with the collective that me and one of my good friends, Chops, created, Expert
Yeah.
Rivers. So we're doing there, but then we're trying to do like other events.
Yeah, bro. No, that's cool, man. I feel like that's a way to get started in the music industry because, you know, any place that is going to hire you as a DJ, they're always going to tell you how many people can you bring, how many tickets is your brand going to sell, right? And if you start that collective, it kind of like goes towards that. You know, like, okay, I started this thing that already sells tickets. I'm going to tie it to my brand when I actually do get a big show, a big show like EDC. I'm already going to have, you know, I don't know, 1,000 emails, 10,000 emails, and I'm going to be able to, hey, Quetzal is going to be at EDC, you know? So I think that's important, man. But okay, so you talked to me about your passion. You talked to me about DJing. I want to ask you some questions about like when it comes to the type of DJ that you are. Okay, so for example, you do record box. You're on a USB. What makes you different than other DJs? What makes your brand stand out?
That's a good question.
Okay,
That's a good question.
For sure, yeah.
Let's see. Just on me, I don't know.
You're you, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I want to say that every time I've seen you perform, I like that you're very you bring the vibe with tech house music, and you're really good with your song selection. I think that's really important. You know, you kind of stick to your type of music. You're very like, this is my brand and this is what I like to play. And this coming, I'm talking because I'm an open format DJ, so I try to go with like, you know, I'm very big on like I want to play all the music, you know, but it's always nice to hear someone stick to a specific music genre and being able to make it work. Have you been to EDC before?
Never been.
Never been? Dude, I really recommend it. I love EDC. They have this. It's called the Jungle, Bionic Jungle. Obviously, you've never been, so. But when you walk into EDC towards the end, there's like this section. It's called the Bionic Jungle, and all they play is tech house, and it's so vibey, bro. It's so vibey. Like the whole day, it's just tech house, and it's just kind of like you're just kind of grooving. Every time I've been there to EDC twice. Every time I go there, I think of you. That's like the vision I have. Like when you play music, you're just kind of like vibing. Like I think I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so I try to play like. So if someone comes to see me, they already know like expect what I'm gonna be playing.
They know that what
yeah.
Quetzal is gonna bring to the table for sure, bro. No, and I think that's important. And how do you prepare music? Like, what's your strategy?
Yeah, I don't really use any cues. I just I listen to it like if I'm downloading music, like if I listen to it, I like it, then I'll put it into record box and I'll put it into my USB. So most of the time when I'm like I play a set, either that day of or the day before, like I'll go try to look for some new stuff.
Okay.
And if I like it, I'll put it in my USB and then I play it there. Yeah. I don't really use cues or.
So you didn't take any of my advice. Good to know, man. Thank you. All good, bro. All good. I'm not. Reason I'm saying that is because I'm like super opposite. I'm like super like paranoid and being prepared with the cues, and just having everything prepared. I need to exit here. I need to enter here. But that's just. People are different.
Yeah.
And
I do listen to it before to know like okay, like the structure and like okay, like the lyrics end here. So if I'm bringing in a song, I don't want like two lyrics coming. So I will listen to the song, like the whole song, and be like, so like when I'm DJing, I already know like okay, this section has lyrics, this section doesn't.
Yeah.
So let me mix this one because I know this one has lyrics and.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, no, for sure. And music, so and you know how to.
So
produce,
I just do a bunch of like, if you know phrasing, so it's like I just do like a phrase.
Yeah, no, fair enough, bro. That totally makes sense, and I like that better because it's a little bit more loose. You're more relaxed when you're DJing. On the other hand, when I DJ, I'm very like it's
precise,
very precise, which I love. But it also takes away the fun of it, Like, and DJing is supposed to be about fun. Music, it's about creativity, right? And
have fun, vibe.
Exactly. But there's two types of people. Like, I'm not gonna be the guy at a freaking what's that when you're at the beach with the fire
fire pit.
Fire pit, playing the guitar, like that's never gonna be me, bro. Like, like, all right, give me the notes.
Oh, you gotta read the notes.
Gotta read the notes. I gotta know where it goes. So totally fair. I get it. How many USBs do you have?
Right now 3.
3.
I have to get more. I'm lucky this one works because I was doing laundry and I forgot that I had.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I keep it in this little black pouch.
Yeah.
Let me show you. So I keep it in this little black pouch.
Okay.
All my USBs, and then I was doing laundry. I forgot that I had it in one of my pants, and I washed it. So then I checked it this morning. It worked in my laptop.
And it worked. Okay, that's the one. That's the one that went into the laundry.
All of them, yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. All of them,
dude. So. Oh my goodness.
But it works though.
And do you have a hard drive with music on top of that?
I should.
You should.
I should, yeah.
Fair enough, bro.
Save all of it, but.
Fair enough, man.
So if I lose these USBs, I'll be a little stressed, but.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that. No, you need to get a hard drive, bro.
No, for sure.
You need to get a hard drive for sure. Like that's like when you wake up tomorrow in the morning, just.
I actually do have a hard drive. I just haven't uploaded.
You haven't backed it up.
A little lazy, but.
For sure, no, I get that. Okay, and we talked about your future. We talked about the music that you produce. Do you have any other aspirations other than EDM?
Coaching.
Coaching.
So I coach right now with the club team. I like to pass like my experiences and what I've learned through soccer, and give
What
to
what position did you play in soccer?
outside. I mean, like outside soccer. So when I was playing professional, I was playing indoor soccer.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
playing like traditional, like outside 11v11. I was a winger,
Okay.
and then indoor I played either a target or a midfielder.
Okay, so when you were doing outside soccer,
I was on the wings.
you were passing for people to score. Did you score a lot
Depends.
too, or
Yeah. So as a winger, your job is to
center, right?
center, but
Yeah.
or like
Or try to?
so like a bunch of 1v1s or like trying to like go forward. So like I would always be on the left, so I was a left winger
Okay.
because I was a righty. So I'd boom take someone 1-on-1, cut in to my right foot, and then try to shoot or find a through ball to the 9 or the
Oh,
striker.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, but if you're more of a person that passes, and you're left-handed or left-footed, you would be on the left, right?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. So if
Okay.
you're gonna take someone 1-on-1 and then just cross it every time, yeah, be on the left. But if
Yeah.
you like to shoot,
Right,
I,
shoot,
I
you
would
gotta
prefer
be,
you to be on the right side,
Yeah.
so you could boom, 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 and then cut into your strong foot,
Right.
and then
That makes sense. That makes sense for sure. And okay, so you're coaching, and you're trying to pass on the knowledge to who are you coaching?
kids, so boys, girls. Right now I have 2 teams, 11-year-olds, or they're gonna turn 11 this year, and then kids that are 9 that are gonna turn 10 this year as well.
Young kids. Young kids for sure. What
We even
what-
have younger ones. We have like with that club we do like a junior academy.
Yeah.
So the youngest one we have is like 3-4 years old. So we just try to teach them just the basics like dribbling, passing, and try to teach them like good habits. So then when they
My son just started soccer, bro. I'm asking for some advice because he just started soccer and he does not listen to the coach at all. He's 4 years old, and he just basically like even when he's like they're playing the little game. They're 4 year olds, so they don't really like understand, but they're like running back and forth with the field. He'll like stand behind the goalie, like not doing anything. What do you do as a coach to like try to get them to?
at that age we don't really. So in the junior academy, when we have kids that age or all the junior academies, we don't really play.
Okay.
We just do technical stuff. So like dribbling, so like dribble with your laces, toe down,
Yeah.
small touches, and then passing. So your landing foot. So if you're right-footed, your left foot is pointing towards the person you want to pass it to, and then the foot you're passing with, heel down, toe up, hit the strike the middle of the ball. So like trying to teach them good
Manners with the soccer
good,
ball.
yeah, good habits. Because coaching, kids come try out and they're coming from AYSO. I would, no offense to AYSO, but I would not like get a kid from AYSO only because like they have like bad habits and like you got to start from like depending on their age. So if they're younger and they're coming from AYSO, yeah, but if they're on the older side, I wouldn't really do it because there would be the team that they're gonna be joining they would be like
Really?
so it'd be like
Whoa.
a harder catch up.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
because AYSO like most of the coaches on AYSO they're like parents, you know. They all, like so AYSO they're like, oh, I want to coach my kid.
Yeah.
So like most of the time parents don't really like know like the little details of
Yeah.
like soccer.
That's why actually I like the program that my son is in because they're a bunch of they look like high schoolers, but they're probably like in teams and they look like they know how to play really well. So I really enjoyed that. It's called Toque. Are you familiar?
TOCA.
TOQUE.
Oh, never mind.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But that's good because then if it was just like some random person like doing camps and stuff, it would be,
Yeah. No, for sure. But then I'm also trying to coach him myself, like so he could kind of because he's a little bit like I don't know if behind is the right word because he just started, so maybe that's not the right word, but he's slower than the other kids, and I'm trying to like catch him up, right? So I'm trying to play with him, but I don't want to annoy him or get him to hate soccer. Like
Yeah, so like sometimes I tell parents I'm like don't push your kid too much because then they'll lose the passion, you know. So like me as a coach, like I'm pushing them and like I'm like on them,
Yeah.
and then they should come to you and then like try to just motivate them, be like, oh, you got this. Like, don't try to push them while I'm pushing them, because then like two people or
It's too much.
it's
It's
like
too much.
overwhelming. So then they're like, I don't want to play anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Would you recommend going back to the DJ thing? Would you recommend starting kids at a young age in the music world?
no, well, I don't think so.
No.
I feel like they should, or just like anything, like they just should grow up and like decide on their own, like
Develop what they want. Okay.
yeah.
I started teaching my son how to play piano.
Well, that's good. Like teaching them like stuff like that, like skills like that. That's very good. Cause then, now if he wants to, like when he gets older and now he wants to do this,
Yeah.
he'll have the knowledge already from what.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so-
one of the things that I'm doing with him is at least trying. Right. I'm really trying. Is I try not to force him, or I try not to
Yes.
like pressure him into like, hey, you have to do this, because I don't want him to hate it.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard because he's little, and he's little and he doesn't understand. So it's like one of those. Well, I kind of have to force you to like to learn, so you could kind of stay still and do it. But then if you force someone, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna hate it. So it's a little bit hard.
Yeah. Especially when I coach the younger kids. Those ones are you gotta really be like, cause they'll be like.
Yeah.
So you
bro.
gotta be like, pay attention, like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So like, you be
And
trying
it-
to
yeah.
talk and they're like, a bug flies by and they're like, I'm like, hey, pay attention.
My son, the coach will tell him to do something, and he'll be like, "I'm a dinosaur." I'm like, bro, I could just. The coaches have to have some patience, man. They gotta have some patience
Yeah.
for real.
They test my patience, but
And you're dealing with older kids, so I'm assuming they're better.
nah, there's
No,
probably
they're-
just as worse. I'll be I like to joke around, like I'd like to have like that connection as well. Besides, I don't like them to call me coach, because then like it feels like I like to be like their peer,
Okay,
not their
okay.
peer, but like they still listen to me, but like
Just on
so
a
like
whole.
so like if we're doing a drill, they know to like listen, pay attention, but like water break or like after practice something, like I'm there goofing around, they're like capping on me, I'm capping on them, so it's like
Yeah, for sure. No, I get that. And then, like I said, transferring it back to music, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I haven't even had my son touch DJ stuff, because I just don't think. I don't think he'll understand it. He'll just see a bunch of buttons. He'll probably just want to play with it.
start pressing.
Start pressing stuff, yeah. And I think, first you got to get the basics, That's why I actually bought him a piano. It's really funny, because for his. It wasn't this past Christmas. This is the Christmas before. Christmas 2023. I was so excited, bro. I was so excited to I bought him a piano, and I was like, oh, he's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. Like, he was what, 3? I think he was 3, or he was already 4. No, he was 3. He's gonna love it. I wrapped it up. I spent so much time wrapping it up because it's a big piano. And then I set it up so he could rip it open. Christmas came, rips it open, has no idea what it is. He has no clue.
Sees a bunch of whites and black
Yeah.
keys, yeah.
He just looks at it and goes on his way.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Cool. And it's funny. I feel parents make that mistake a lot. Like I made the mistake. And I feel like as we get older, like you said, you want to pass on that knowledge, but you gotta know how to pass on the knowledge. And I think what you're doing is perfect. Obviously, later, if you decide to have kids, you already have that training in coaching, because you took the time to coach. And I never did. So, but you have it where it's like, you took the time. And I think that's also gonna help you a lot in understanding your career and the moves that you make. Because this right here takes patience, right? Like, it doesn't, unless you're rich and you already played a bunch of festivals that I don't know about.
Maybe.
It
I wish.
takes time, bro.
Yeah.
It takes time, it's one step at a time, bro. One step at a time. Like, how many years ago did we meet?
So we probably met like 2 years ago, but then
Nah, bro, it was right after
21?
COVID. No, it was like 2020,
That was during COVID, 2020.
2021
Probably
maybe.
21, yeah. And
Because it
then,
was yeah, no, we like it was right after COVID that you started coming, right? So 3 years.
yeah.
Is that fair?
Hmm.
And it isn't until now that you're kind of pushing that next level, right? Would you say that for other artists? What advice would you give a young artist trying to make it?
Be patient. So we're all walking down the same path, but just some people walk faster, some people walk slower. So don't compare to yourself to someone that's walking faster and gets to where you want to be faster. Just know that you just keep walking down that path. Eventually, you'll end up there. So don't just be patient and just don't stress. Just have fun, and eventually you'll get to where you are if you just keep walking down that path.
And I like that you said that, bro, because you gotta have fun with it,
Hmm.
right? What do you think of DJs that like for example, I don't know, let's say Dioro. Do you think he has it all laid out? Like this cue, this cue, this cue. I'm gonna have this schedule. I'm gonna have this date. I'm gonna do this. This date. I'm gonna do this. Would that is that the way to go, or would that get boring after some time?
I just think that once something becomes like a job, I want it to be a job, of course, but like once it like when I was playing soccer, like once it became a job, it's like you kind of like it's not as fun. It's like I just say like just loosen up and just go with the flow.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's got to be a little bit of that passion that like um. There's got to be a little bit of that like, hey, I gotta have fun with this. And obviously, there's still schedules. I mean, I'm sure if you get signed, when you get signed, hint, hint. I'm sure there's gonna be like schedules that people are gonna tell you, hey, you gotta reserve this date. You gotta, you're gonna play here. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You're gonna sign autographs here. Blah blah blah. I'm sure there's some of that.
Yeah. Which I'm used to because when I was playing professional, like that's what we had to do. Like we had to do a certain amount of appearances, whatever was on the contract, like certain amount of appearances. So like, oh, you got to be here. You have to like, so like, I'm kind of used to that. That's not the signing autographs. That's fun. Like
Yeah, yeah.
who wouldn't say that? That's not.
I mean,
fun,
I'm sure there's a point where you get tired of it. I think,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. All right, let me ask you, professional soccer, and I'm asking you the same question for both professions. How's the lady situation, man? I'm gonna put you on blast. I gotta ask.
I'm drinking.
Drink with you. Here we go.
It's good. Of course. No distractions. So like
Really? Oh, okay.
hint hint. No, it's. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but it's good. It's fun.
Because being a professional athlete, there's a level to that, right? I mean, that people just
Especially when you play like in other countries or states.
people gravitate towards you. I mean, both. I like. Obviously, we're talking about ladies here, but I'm assuming just in general, people gravitate towards you. Like, oh, that's a professional. Like, this is a professional soccer player. I remember. I mean, dude, I remember when we booked. We booked. Well, we booked Ray Berger, for the team, and we booked Chan, and we booked. I didn't get a chance to meet Mad Girl, but we booked some pretty big artists, and it was always like this
Different aura to them.
yeah, dude, like this sense of like that person's famous, like, and even though we booked them, like I still felt like this like little nervousness of like they're famous, So, are you ready for all that, dude? Are you? You're used
I don't
to
think
it.
anyone would be ready for it, but yeah.
But you're willing. Yeah. Do you think there's a level of like, let's say, when you get to big levels like Tiesto or Justin Bieber, do you think you're giving up your piece? Do you feel like you're like
Yeah,
You just
think
you just
maybe-
gotta live with it.
I wouldn't know what goes on in their head, but like maybe sometimes they wake up thinking they're like normal people, and then normal people be like wake up be like, I wish I was Justin Bieber, but so it's like
Because they can't even go to the store anymore.
yeah,
Right?
just gotta wear your hat like
Yeah, bro,
and even
yeah.
still people might still. So I
Recognize
feel like
them,
yeah,
follow them around. Yeah,
no privacy.
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
There was this video of Justin Bieber where people followed him to his apartment, and he like turned them down, and he was like, "No, like you're like this is my place to rest, and you're
Disturbing.
invading my space." Do you agree with that, or you disagree with that?
Totally.
You,
yeah.
you do
I
agree
think
with
as a what are they called, paparazzi?
that? Yeah.
There should be a right to like where to like film them, you know, like
Yeah.
if they're out in public then alright, but if they're like at their home or something, don't be standing out in front of their house and
Yeah, bro.
yeah, so
It's disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
There's a sense of
I just
disrespect.
my own opinion, I would like I wouldn't I don't think that's right, but
Do you want to get that famous? Is
um,
that like a dream? Like,
no, it's not a dream, but if it happens, it happens. If not, I'll be okay with it. Yeah.
okay, you'd be okay with it, but you're kind of just doing music because you love to do music.
Yeah.
You're not doing it to.
No,
get
not for the fame. I love music. I love seeing people dance, and especially like the best feeling is you make something like, and then like you play it live and people are
vibing
dancing
with it,
to it. It's
bro.
like
Yeah.
that's like the butterfly, or like that makes my heart pound. So it's like that's what I do it for.
That's dope, man. I like that, bro. You know, I like that. Who do you look up to?
Right now one of my favorite artists is Sanpacho. One of my I think he's like a really good producer.
Okay.
So Sanpacho is
Give me 1 second, man. I gotta send out a quick text. I know this is probably awkward
no, it's all good.
doing it live. I apologize.
No, you're good.
This is what I sent. Let's see how long before they read it.
$10, they don't see it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, man. I when I first started DJing, that was like I didn't want to become famous, but like I wanted to play big shows. Like I really wanted to like oh if I DJ in Vegas or if I DJ in Miami, like big stages, that was something that I was like, oh, I really want to do that, but I never really understood the fame part to it. You know, it was like, oh, like there comes a fame part to it. Like if people like for Dioro, if people recognize Dioro, they're gonna like crowd him. You know, and like I would crowd him. Like, dude, I would. And I don't think I want that. I don't think I want that. Like, but you're right. If it comes, it comes. And you kind of just like deal with it when it comes, right? Any other things you're passionate about, like your soccer, DJing? What other things do you feel like? Oh, like if DJing didn't exist, what other thing would you be into? Drumming.
Drumming, yeah.
Fair enough.
I play a lot of Xbox too, so Rocket League and all that. So
Isn't it crazy that there's like people who make money playing?
yeah, that's what I'm
video
saying.
games?
Like now, people make good money playing soccer, and people make good money playing FIFA, like
right.
virtual soccer. So it's like,
Dude, there's like freaking tournaments
yeah,
of like video games. People playing
and
like
they sell out stadiums. So.
yeah, and they make good money. Like, dude.
So now the parents back then that said, get off the Xbox, you're wasting your time. Like, nah, you're like practicing because
Keep on going. Yeah.
You never know, like it's all.
Would
take
you,
skills.
you know, when you have kids, would you let your kids be on the video game like that?
A balance, you know, like still like go out and like play outside and stuff, but like
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Luckily, my son doesn't like TV. Like he doesn't like he'll watch a little bit and then he'll like go and kind of do other things. that's kind of how I was. Like I did, if I played video games, like it would give me a headache. Um, but it's a balance. You're right. It's a balance. You gotta have a balance. Would you ever become an influencer?
I don't think I would.
No.
I don't know if I have the personality for influencer. I think being in front of a camera, your whole every single like
8 hours a day,
especially
bro.
like the what are they called, the live streamers, the one that do like daily like personal like life.
Yeah.
Like Neon, I think he does it like he wakes up like he's always on camera. Yeah, I don't think I would.
That's too much, man.
That's too much.
That's too much.
I need my privacy.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. I think exposing yourself out like that, like I feel like it there's this sense of like your humanity that's taken away, and I think that has an effect. You know, like you kind of see these child stars that go crazy, like Miley Cyrus. She went through her episodes. Britney Spears went through her episodes. I think it's because of that. Like you're taking away a humanity. Their humanity. You're taking
but I think with some of them, I think it was some of their parents too, like Britney Spears. Rumors, I don't know if it's true or not, but like there was like things with her parents and stuff like that as well.
No, that's fair. That's fair, and that's as you kind of think about it, like when like Michael Jackson, right? Or the Jackson 5.
That's a good.
Since he was little, since he was a little kid, and there's this like, I see a talent and I'm gonna exploit it. As a parent, like I think that's a bad thing. I just feel like, hey man,
they just see money off this their kid.
Yeah.
Even though he was very, very talented, but I don't think that.
I don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah, I think that's why when he grew older, he had all these problems.
Issues. Yeah. For sure, man. And he stayed a kid, I think. He was like,
that's why I think that's why, like, in his house he had, like, the playgrounds and everything, because he didn't have a normal childhood growing up, so it's like, when he got older, like, he's still, like...
100%, bro. 100%. So, I think there's a big part of just having that balance and not exploiting your kids, and then just kind of discovering yourself as you get older. I feel like you gotta let that happen. You were very fortunate to go through soccer, to go through your drumming phase, to go through your DJ that you're doing now. Now you're a producer, producing music. I think like it just happened for you. Like I don't know how your parents were with you, but it seems like
very supportive. Yeah.
You kind of just did what you wanted to do, and I feel like that's a big part of like being a parent and just letting your kids do their thing, and that's it's hard.
Yeah, even at a young age, like my parents always like were supportive. Like when I was young and I was in a soccer team, a club team, and like we were climbing, and then I got into high school and all my friends were like partying and all this. My friend was in like when I was in this team, we were practicing like four times a week, games every weekend, so I had like no social life.
Yeah.
And then like my friend was in a club and he was like still partying and all this. So I told my mom, I was like, I want to join my friend's team, even though they're like on the very lowest division.
Yeah.
And like she was like, okay, if that's what you want to do.
So, for real.
So then boom, I went here, and then I just.
Did you raise the team or did you party?
Raise it a little bit, but I was.
You started partying.
So in high school, I was like partying a lot.
Do you wish your mom would have done differently? Or you?
No, I don't.
No,
I believe that like I take my decisions.
Okay.
Even though I was young, and I still own up to my decisions, and that all led to my journey now. Like I still played professional soccer. I'm still doing, so it's like it still led me to
who you are today. For sure, man.
Maybe if I stuck to this, maybe I don't know. Maybe I would have been a lawyer or something, like something that I don't want to be. So.
Did your parents ever push you to do anything?
No, they never pushed me at all.
No? Like, hey, you have to be a doctor. You have to be, no?
It was always my decision.
Your decision. I think that's the right way to go, man. I think as parents, or as a parent, that's what I want to do with my son. I wish he would play for, like, Mexico, Like, hey,
I don't know about maybe USA. USA fan here.
you know, fair enough. We'll have that rivalry. But or America, you know, I wish you played for America. Like, but I would never force them, dude. Like, I don't think that's the way to. I don't think that's the way to go about it. You know, like that's not. It's not a good thing to push your kid towards something.
Just like my dad was music his whole life. Like, and I'm over here soccer player. He never once tried to push music on me. He was, you know, I still.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. Do you think you're gonna get to, I don't know, 70 years old and still be producing, still be, you know, playing festivals? At what age do you think this is all gonna either go away or you're gonna keep at it?
Music, I think it's ageless. But
it's a forever, right?
It's ageless, but 70-year-old, who would want to? If I'm like at EDC and I see a 70-year-old, unless he's like.
Dude, I mean, you look at Tiesto, who's
70.
No, but he's 50 plus. Mm-hmm. He's up there, and you look at him and you're like, dude, like he's still rocking. Though, he's a legend. Yeah. He's a legend, bro. Like, and people respect him and people love him. Like, he still comes out with bangers. Like, I'd be okay with that. You know. Yeah. Like, do you think there's a point in your life where you're like,
if I get to a legend
status
as Tiesto, David Guetta, those cats like that, then maybe I'll still be doing it.
No. Yeah, no, I think about that a lot, man. You know, as I'm approaching at an age where, you know, like, oh, like I'm older. I want to know, like, at what point am I gonna stop all this? But I just don't see it, bro. Yeah. I don't see it. I'm gonna be connected to music the rest of my life.
Somehow. Yeah.
Somehow. Maybe not DJing when I'm 70.
You could.
But
with music, I feel like there's multiple routes you could take. So.
I just freaking love music, bro. Mm-hmm. I really do. And I think, you know, people, you know, like you who really understand music, they understand that. It's just music is ageless, you know. So I get that, bro. What are you gonna play for us today?
Bunch of everything. A lot of Latin stuff, but I just put a bunch of stuff on my USB, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
we'll see what comes on. Fun. What comes on the USB? Okay, I like that, bro.
We'll have fun.
Like I said, you know, whoever's watching today, you know, or just watch this later on YouTube or Twitch or on the website. I just gotta say that this man right here started a journey when I met him 3 years ago, and the progress that he's taken till now it's freaking inspiring, bro. I gotta give you props. You know, seeing you bring so many people to your shows, when you've played at Sharky's for us, when you've played at the Space Monkey events for us. You have a vibe, man. Like you really do, you know, and I really appreciate that, and I respect it, and I freaking want you to keep going, bro.
Yeah, I'm not stopping. It's just the beginning.
But. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, and I want to see you do big things, and thank you, thank you for letting me be a little part of that, you know.
Thank you for having me here.
I freaking appreciate it, bro. All right, man. Let's get to rocking some music.
Let's get it. Let's vibe.
Yes, sir. With water.
I think I need.